Let's turn to Kenya now, where the country's president has announced that people living in areas at risk of flooding or landslides will be asked to evacuate from tomorrow. It comes after a week of severe flooding in the country, which has killed at least 169 people now. Well, Kenya is bracing for further rains. President Ruto says that the army has been mobilised to help with those evacuations. In the Rift Valley, an overflowing reservoir washed away part of a village, killing at least 48 people. From there, here's our Africa correspondent, Barbara Pletasher.
We've been following rescue teams today, which have been searching for bodies. One was found in the river over here. It was a 13-year-old girl. And another we know of that was found in a village a little bit to the northeast of where I am. We don't have wider figures than that at the moment. So a bulldozer has been very active here, taking away the debris, a lot of branches that have fallen into the river. And that's kind of how it works. The rescue workers, who are the Red Cross and the National Youth Service, they sort of fan out along the riverbank. They've got rakes, they've got shovels, they've got sticks to poke into the uprooted trees to see if bodies are tangled there. And then where there are large mounds of tangled trees and debris, the bulldozers come in and try to move it away so the rescue workers can keep looking. We were at another place where we were told that underneath that mound was a house where 6 people had lived, and the neighbors weren't sure if they were still there, whether they'd been buried there. So it's been that kind of situation all day. And you know, there's this quiet despair and grief underneath it all. We saw a woman in front of us suddenly just double over crying because she'd heard that her child's body had been found. She wouldn't speak to us, understandably. It was a very terrible moment for her. We spoke to another man who had just returned from the morgue, where he had seen the body of his 9-year-old son, and he and his daughter told us their story, how the water had rushed into their house. The daughter, who was 17, had been carried away with it but hung onto a tree branch. The father was hit in the head, and he let go of the son, the 9-year-old boy, and he drowned. So, you know, there's so many stories like that here. The searching for the bodies is, I guess, a bit of closure. It tells you what the numbers are, that sort of thing, but it's just such a tragedy.
Barbara Pletasher there at the scene. Well, Kenya's president has defended his government's following criticism that the response to those floods has been really slow. He's been talking to our reporter, Rhoda Odhiambo.
Given the warning that has been issued by the Kenya Meteorological Department and other scientists about the impact of the heavy rainfall, not only in Kenya, but other East African countries, won't it be the right time to declare flooding a national disaster, given the number of people who've died, the infrastructure that has been destroyed, and those who've been displaced?
I think the more urgent thing to do is to provide the requisite resources, put in place the necessary plans, and ensure that we deploy the resources and the plan to be able to deal with this situation as we are doing. In fact, tomorrow very early in the morning, we have a cabinet meeting that is going to address itself to this issue. I already called an emergency multi-agency team last week to be able to set up a 24-hour emergency desk that will look at all the issues around the situation we are faced with. And I am very confident that we should be able to respond in good time. And we are going to make sure that we deploy every resource that is within our reach to make sure that we take care of this situation, even as we see the next steps. If it gets to a level where it becomes absolutely necessary for us to declare a national disaster, then those steps will be carried out.